Factorio Space Aid Deathworld Marathon Episode 34. We are preparing to go to Aquillo, which we know how to get to now. I thought we'd review the fleet because we changed that quite a lot last episode. We didn't change Becky. Becky's been doing this for a while. Space science in Nauvis orbit, doing a lot of good stuff. On a schedule that only gives them 10 seconds every 4 minutes to drop all the science we want. So that is how we're not like constantly vomiting out a splurge of 1 or 2 science packs at a time, doing what it needs to. Pretty cool. Let's look at Mind Tech next, that we also largely ignore a whole lot and is currently backed up or currently just got is static because it's got everything it needs. Oh well. Fulgora orbit, the goal of this guy is to collect ice, which we are currently not collecting. What's going on? Oh no, we're trying to collect it. Yeah, and sending ice down to Fulgora for nuclear power, because that's apparently a thing we're doing there. And this one is designed to take up a bunch of space but not use a whole lot of platform to attempt to get all the rocks it can, like this one. Yeah, like this. Collect all the ice, put it on the belt. The belt is still... it's fine. Things are more or less like that. Okay, great. Moving on. Vendius is kind of the new pattern of inner planet's ship that we're using. We're just, drundling them around. We've got a science taxi thing going on. We're moving the kinds of science around. We could probably put more requests on this. We've got a bit of space. And we're just using a couple of time passed schedules, because like, why not? It's not very good. It doesn't have to be. These things are entirely fueled from space. Lily is also basically exactly the same thing, and that's kind of how we're getting away with having such small requests and such small things. And as long as these guys are in different planets, and they currently kind of are, we can have sort of a smaller even flow of stuff. Human is the stuff taxi? Yeah, Human is now stuff taxi. Same route, moving things like blue chips and red chips around the place, which we also need to work on. This is also important because we've got low density structures that's trying to go from Gleba to Fulgora, and blue chips that are trying to go from Fulgora to Gleba. So that's one of the other things we're doing here, and also red chips back to Nauvis. And lastly, Veritas is... no, Grundolf is the one we haven't looked at yet, isn't it? And Grundolf is the one that's just going backwards and forwards between Vulcanus and Nauvis, also doing both stuff taxi and its own little science taxi. Maybe we should have red chips in here as well. Actually, no, Vulcanus doesn't have a surplus of red chips. If we had any red chips, we would be turning it into purple science. So, yeah, all of these are the same pattern now, which I like quite a lot. We've got the... oh, only stable chemical plants. Oh, we don't need either of these on Grundolf because we are not short of solar power, because we just go backwards and forwards between Vulcanus. And then... yeah, nice little ship doing little ship things. And the last one that we haven't talked about is Sour Sun, which is in orbit around Gleba. We are currently on Gleba. This is going to be the ship that we try to use to get to Aquillo, and the belt is looking pretty full with a decent array of stuff. There's rockets in there as well. There's a bunch of, ship components there. I don't think this is going to work, but we're going to try anyway. One thing I did change in between is... this belt at the front, instead of being bullets on both sides, is now rockets on one side, and we've got one of these rocket turrets moved up the front, because basically I'm really not sure that we're going to have range to shoot all the big asteroids out of the way before we need to deal with it. As soon as we start moving and empty out some of these bullets, this guy will get rockets. But the other thing I was wondering about is, do we have 57 structure? Okay, I think we are also going to struggle for solar power around Aquillo. I think we only had 6 of those, and then I think the rest needed to be... oh, but we also don't have the foundation for it. So... there's nothing especially important in here. I mean, a bunch of chem plants, sure. Let's see if we can try to get to Aquillo, because that's kind of the name of the game. Did we have... yeah, we're not probably gonna... if we're ever back, then we can look at that again. But yeah, let's just see if this works. It might not. Yeah, because we've got one gun turret. Yeah, these rocket turrets don't have particularly great range envelopes. That's maybe a thing we can consider later. But yeah, after we start shooting some of these bullets, then we should start to get some rockets on this belt, and then we'll be able to fire rockets from this guy. And oh yeah, here are these big asteroids. And yeah, getting distracted by the ones over to the side that we're never even going to be able to collect from is a bit of a shame. Then we've got several of these guys turning up in the same spot that are all going to be a little bit of an issue. But we do have these other rocket turrets. Yes, it's getting a bit sketch, isn't it? I think I'd rather have two up the front. In fact, I could still reorganize all of this so that we had more of these rocket turrets up here. Are we even going to... Ooh, yeah. Because one of the other problems we have is that we didn't actually pack any spare foundation or any spare guns. So we might not... Oh, we've lost the front rocket launcher. So yeah, so this is a pattern that's going to... Maybe it gets to Aquillo? How much stuff have we got? We don't have all that much fuel sitting around. Oh no! There's a big asteroid that went straight through the middle. Okay, which is funny because the old pattern did get to Aquillo. It just, yeah, got completely destroyed by all the asteroids. It's just down to the RNG of whether or not a big asteroid lines up with the central item. But we do have the blueprint somewhere. The blueprint's going to be on a different planet, isn't it? Oh well. The other thing we need to do, which we're here for now, is we're going to try and get Gleba working again, because it's been, yeah, it's had a couple of problems. Power and then stability, and yeah, there was, okay, let's get these things in. Let's get at least some of this. I was expecting that to do, no, it's going to take a while, isn't it, even with all of this stuff running, because one of the things we are trying to do on Gleba, perhaps unsuccessfully, okay, the radar's back, it's fine, is have multiple Tesla turrets protecting these outposts, and these things have significant drain, never mind their usage. But then I also just saw these guys are going to have to go away. Are they much of a threat? Big Stomper, maybe? Okay, so we're back online again. Turn on the controls that will make all of the various mining outposts do a thing. We're carrying the signal all the way out here, and then we've got combinators that are checking to see whether or not the particular code for the particular patch is present in the box. So we've got steel over there, and then over here gear wheels, and yeah, all of that, those materials should start to drift in. And yeah, there was the problem we had with Gleba quite recently was something like me trying to feed nutrients just by opening the biochambers and force clicking everything in, and this meant that we made too many jellies, which backed up all of this belt, which meant that there was no way for seeds to get out, which eventually blocked everything. So that should go better. What we need now is a whole lot of nutrients from somewhere, and there should be... Yeah, here's a bunch of nutrients that we can have. You know, not yet, but they will be once we've got power. At some point, we should also see some of these fruit turning up here, but also, you know, belt delay. Give me all of this stuff in there. Then we have to do this slightly more carefully, because we don't want to just be forcing all of the... Yeah, we don't want to... I think all of these ones that have... I think the bioflux we're going to leave as upgraded speed 3s, although that might have also not been there originally. Gimme can continue doing all this stuff. Yeah, these guys, 14 jellies out, 3 jellies, 6 jellies, 3 jellies, so we're going to have a bit of a surplus here, but not that much, and not enough to block any seeds that we're also trying to put out here. But the other thing that I did think was maybe we would like to have a slightly more reliable way to make... Yeah, because now all of that's back online. We've got to go and get some pentapod eggs from somewhere, and we've also got to go and restart the smelting, and it also looks like... Why? Oh, because plastic. This stuff would be running if we had plastic, but then we also need to get the bacteria, and so I think we're going to try and get a somewhat more reliable way of getting bacteria out. Yeah, if we give these guys enough nutrients, maybe there was some spoilage or whatever, because all of these jellies wander around this side of this belt and are filtered off to here, but then are going to be fuel, but then also end up over here. And so I'm thinking we use this to go... Yeah, iron bacteria. Iron bacteria is what we want. And then we'll have this kind of business. And I think we're going to circuit condition this so that we only look for iron bacteria. Yeah, we only grab the jellies if the iron bacteria is equal to 0. Because we don't want to be doing this all the time, but we do want to be doing it some amount of the time. And then, yeah, we've got more spoilage in here as well. Yeah, you take all of those. We're going to get spoilage in here. There's some other places we are requesting spoilage as well. Is this really not enough stuff to get? Because you've got 15. You probably don't need 15. Probably we need a lot more of these nutrients. Okay, yeah, and then somewhere over here. There looks good. And let's do this with... Oh, wait, this is... We need the mash in the same way that we need the jellies. And we've also got to get these pile guys past that. Yeah. So, where is... Oh, mashes... We still don't have... Oh, we're starting to get some nutrients, but we are piling the nutrients into these pentapods. Sure. I mean, we're thinking about other things as well at the same time. Okay. You still have 4 nutrients. Move these guys around. Okay, that's... Did we use up... We used up all that rare spoilage. I mean, we could use this normal spoilage as well, but I'd rather that was down here, so we can eventually turn it into carbon. And... Yeah, we now should have some kind of nutrient flow that's hopefully maybe stable. Where can... How does this mash here is what we want for the... Yeah, this kind of automatic... We don't actually need this grade of assembly here. It's not really going to be doing anything for us, but never mind. Okay, yeah, you guys grab that. And then we'll also do the circuit condition thing so that you only get to run if we are short of... is that less than 0? Equal to 0. Equal to 0 is definitely what we want there. Okay, great. So, we now have a way of taking mash in priority over the carbon fiber, which we also want to be making... And this will make some small amount of bacteria, which is fine. And then we also, yeah, this Logibot here, we've already set up these chests to request this stuff. And then, oh, because we're not getting bioflux down here, but that's fine. All of this will, once we clear all of this out the way, and then we've also got to get this recycling loop unpacked and whatnot. Yeah, I think we just hold on to this stuff ourselves until we get the bioflux down here, which should be... Yeah, this looks like it's all gone back. Okay, so if we want to restart Gleba again for some reason, these assemblers... yeah, let's make sure that you are getting... Let's actually... do this to try and get you... Yeah, because currently we're putting the jelly over here, and we would prefer that with priority it went into... Yeah, and then all of that... We're also making spoilage now, which is fine, because we wanted to be making spoilage, because we need spoilage over here. Okay, what do I need pentapod eggs. So give me some of these. We've got a couple of slowdown capsules. We don't have any flamethrower fuel. I don't have any gun turrets or whatever. It's fine. It's just a big stomper and a strafer. And we can turn up here and go, how are you doing? Oh, you were hitting the rocks. Let's not hit the rocks. Yeah, slowdown capsules are pretty good versus stompers, as it turns out. Okay, so all those guys are done. Give me... And there's another... Oh, yeah, we could have just got one of these other shells as well, couldn't we? Oh, well, never mind. I think we... These are wrigglers that are going to explode. They're not another nest. There's going to be other nests probably in here somewhere that led to this expansion that we also need to deal with. Constant Deathworld things, and also a couple in the north, it looks like. But we should be able to get... I put both of them in the same place. I don't want both of them in the same place. To get some of these back online and get the nutrients used again. And then, yeah, we upgraded this belt. I was also thinking about upgrading some of this belt. Do we have... Because we did have a problem with... Oh, maybe it's just that we're not emptying nutrients quickly enough. Maybe we should have a dedicated spoilage catcher here, although we've kind of got these as dedicated spoilage catchers. Whatever, moving on. Has this automatically come back online? Yes. Not completely yet. We're waiting for these things to die, and then we actually need... Yeah, give me some bioflux, because we're just going to move that around to get these running again. And then this should be Gleba restored, in theory, which means now I'm going to dump these into... Okay, rare stuff can immediately just go over here. And yeah, we're just going to recycle that stuff out. We don't actually care about the low quality stuff. We had a mall here that we were going to do something with, and then didn't do anything with either of those belts. Oh well, what are we... Oh, steel. Because we are waiting to get... Oh yeah, we're just waiting for all of these things to... Sure, whatever. Things that are fine. That'll come back by itself. We are not concerned. Okay, and then Gleba looks to be running. Is the rocket fuel running again? It is, but we are prioritizing it away from the power grid, so let's not do that. So we've got power grid somehow wandering, yeah, down here. Is that true? No, it goes over here. It goes over here to this power grid, which is still... You know, we hand-fed that, so it's fine. These guys are... I'm still not sure that we want to be blocking rocket fuel from all of these boilers, but whatever, moving on. We have... Yeah, this is just actually going to... This is going to be constantly pumping out spoilage, isn't it? I think I'm okay with that, because it's also not jelly we need for bioflux. And there are... Yeah, there are gaps in this belt that we can get the seeds on, so that's fine. And then we did also want some kind of spoilage factory so we could keep making carbon for this carbon fiber anyway. And yeah, that's what we wanted to do on Gleba. There were a couple of notes I wanted to make in that you're not there. In the tech tree, I have been poking around and did notice that, yeah, we go to Fulgora, Aquillo. We do some lithium stuff, we learn to make another cryogenic plant, and these are made from a collection of things. And one of the claims that I'm making is we're going to be doing all of the Aquillo stuff at rare quality, which means we would also need these at rare quality, allegedly. And I was expecting there to be a carbon fiber thing here, but there isn't, but never mind. Maybe it was one of these other... And then the science needs ice and lithium plate, and the lithium plate needs lithium and is controlled by holmium. So as long as we get quality holmium, which I'm pretty sure we have, we can do all of this at quality, which is fantastic. The science, I don't know, it would save us launches, but maybe we also do that with basic holmium. The direction I was going with that was... down here, we are requesting a whole lot of rare carbon fiber, which we're not going to do anymore, because we already have... Is 6 enough rare rocket turrets? Maybe it is. Do I have the rare rocket turrets? Were the rare rocket turrets on the ship we just yeeted into the asteroids? Maybe. And then why do I have the rare processing units here? I don't actually remember why, but we've got enough blue chips, which is fine. Or we should have a blue chips request here. There's some other stuff to set up. Yeah, and we've got a lot of blue chips because Gleba isn't actually making them ourselves. Science processing is running again, so that's nice. Oh yeah, that was the other science thing we were going to talk about. Why you... Oh, it's still bioflux. Why aren't we making enough bioflux? We should be making enough bioflux. What else are we making that needs bioflux? Science, yes. How is the bioflux not getting... I guess one every 4 seconds, but this thing is speed 9. Maybe we're just not making enough bioflux. That would be mildly funny. I was going to speed module this, but we can't because it would affect our ability to make things at quality. Maybe... How much bioflux do we have that's quality that's rolling past here? Because the quality stuff we are not necessarily using, and we've just got a whole lot of stuff that's spoiled. Oh, well. But also, with the new bacteria request set up, it actually doesn't matter. So I think we might just ignore that. We might just find... Where's the box of... Yeah, this. All the spoilage can get in there. We can just continue making all of the carbon fiber from it. We can stash that as rare quality carbon fiber. I think we're going to do a bit more fighting because we are probably not safe here yet. Oh yeah, and then also this... I was going to make this buffer larger so that if we ever needed to restart Gleba again, which we might, then we'll have... I mean, we'll have rocket fuel here. We'll have rocket fuel on the belts. I think that's probably fine. Yeah, okay, bit more combat. So I think we're just going to presume that Gleba is stable enough for now and just move on with it. We're going to go back to Nauvis. I think it's going to be one of the episodes where we're just going to bounce backwards and forwards between a bunch of different planets. Picking stuff up to make the new spaceships, designing the new spaceships, because we haven't done that either. That's kind of why we're going back to Nauvis to launch those platforms. We have grabbed some of the useful stuff from Gleba that we might like to take to Aquillo, and to do that, yeah, let's continue with... we were always doing this. We were just, sure, whatever, we're going to go now, it's going to be fine, I'm in a hurry. There were some other things on Vulcanus that we also needed to look at, because, yeah, this isn't so much happy as blocked. And so the first thing to do is to, yeah, to turn these back on, to, yeah, collect some of that stuff to... these aren't blocked, which is fine. But the other problem, yeah, there are two other related problems to this. We're going to talk about the one related to that soon. The first problem in Vulcanus is the science has stopped, because we don't have enough of the tungsten carbide little triangular things, and that turns out to be because a lot of the trains are unhappy and not having any stuff on them, and that turns out to be because this patch of tungsten we have fully mined out, which we're somewhat prepared for, because we've got another patch over here with a whole load of it, except that the two train stations have the same name. So this train station we're going to... we're not going to call it the same thing anymore, which means trains are no longer going to go there, which means that all of these trains instead are going to head over here, as long as we can... Yeah, we've got this little return thing around here. We should be able to get all these trains out and back, and then we should be able to get the tungsten we need to the places to make that stuff work. I'm actually in Nauvis already, and I kind of want to just wait here. Is that true? I want these on the planet, I want these on the planet, and then I want to, yeah, keep You keep doing your Nauvis thing, I will go down to Nauvis, and then we'll go finish talking about the things we need to do on Vulcanus. Because that's, yeah, the first of them. The second of them is... due to this, the amount of coal we're getting out of here, and maybe we could upgrade some of these belts. I don't really feel like upgrading some of these belts. I think the way we're going to deal with all of this also kind of blocking itself occasionally. Yeah, we can kind of not. Is that true? No, we still need to unpack all of these, don't we? Cool. Keep just packing that stuff in. If we get rid of a couple of these inserters, we just turn off some of the lanes of, in this case, speed modules. So we're going to have equal numbers of prod mods, quality modules, and speed modules coming out, but also more importantly, we're going to continue to get plastic over to these electromag plants, which are making the red chips, which we are using for the purple science on Vulcanus and stuff like that. And then I think I did also want to change these modulings, didn't I? Because it did strike me that we could get more red chips out of this build, because we want to maintain... Yeah, we want to maintain... What is this? 11% quality, more or less, and these things have 3.2% quality. So what I'm thinking is we get 4 upgraded quality modules and a prod mod, and now we have, okay, slightly more quality, but never mind, but we're also getting slightly more productivity out. Not by much, 0.37, 0.37. That is not what I was expecting. I was expecting to see the one with slightly more productivity give us slightly more red chips out, but that's a thing we can also, yeah, address later. Sure. Why? Maybe it's just in the decimal places. Yeah, another 9% productivity over 50% productivity is not going to be a whole lot, but that's a thing that we can just have the bots work on because we've got all those modules. And what we wanted to do on Nauvis was, yeah, launch some more platforms, but also the various... Did you leave? Yeah, you left. The various ship designs we're looking at are getting upgraded efficiency modules in them, and we have some efficiency modules upgraded, but I'm not sure we have all that many efficiency modules upgraded. But it also struck me that we have... Yeah, we don't think we want any of this stuff anymore. We've got better ways of making modules, but we do have some speed modules, and some basic prod mods, and some basic quality mods, and maybe also these uncommon versions of the same. I don't know that we're going to use these much at all. And the thing that struck me about these is, somewhere over here we've got an efficiency module recycler. That's the prod mods one, which is making rare prod mod ones from the prod mods from purple science, which we also don't necessarily need now. Because the thing that strikes me is this efficiency module upgrader, we are requesting all the efficiency module upgrades, but we could just dump all of these tier 1 modules in here, recycle them into the better module, yeah, because we're still getting just red and green chips out, and so we can pivot all of these things to the upgraded efficiency modules we need, which is quite a nice trick that I like. Being able to recycle, yeah, an upgrade path for modules that just swaps between kinds of modules is a thing that I like. And then, yeah, we're going to have to launch some more platforms, which is going to be, probably we have, not there, down here, we have a bunch of platforms. Oh yeah, we can launch some more platforms. We've got enough space to be mucking around with, a whole bunch of new platforms. Hexacube, that's a cool name, we're going to go with that. And then also, yeah, bounces us into remote view for some reason we don't really know about. Well, you already had one. Were you also... Oh, you were the one that I sent. Sure. Platforms. And this is the first of the ships that I don't actually think is going to work, so we've got another in the bag as well. And yeah, we've kind of been running around getting all the parts we need. It's still stuck in Nauvis orbit. A lot of the guns at the front are just, yeah, we're just not getting enough asteroids. And so a thing that would have been good to do, which we eventually, yeah, I've only just got around to do, is get some actual fuel in this, so we can just... I kind of don't care where it goes. Are we fully built? We are... oh, we're actually not fully built. We are missing somewhere. There are some rare long-handed inserters. We're not going to worry about that yet. You just like go anywhere and run out of fuel, just so we get to some better rocks that we can pick up in the air. Just like pause thrust here. Are we at a point where we're getting better rocks? Because we don't actually want to smash our face into the medium-sized ones we have to shoot, because we don't have the ammunition for it yet. But hopefully we can pick up some better things. But let's talk about stuff that's on this ship, which is significantly larger than the last one. The reason I don't think this one is going to work is because of the whole red ammo situation. But I wanted to see if it didn't work rather than just... yeah, this is how you learn some things. Sometimes you try some things that are not working out so well. Where are the... I don't remember where I put the rear inserters or whether it was deliberate or what, but never mind. Down at the back of this thing, we have kind of the same drive section as we looked at in the other ship, because I liked the way these thrusters lined up, and then we just flipped that on the other side, although we can't flip the thrusters, so the chem plant recipes are kind of the same because the way the tanks connect to the thrusters, which will be easier to see once we've got enough stuff. And then we've got, yeah, the same, kind of a similar sushi belt. We've got a lot more things that are attempting to crush asteroids we don't have yet, because we just don't have, yeah, the asteroids that we want. We're only a couple of kilometers away from Nauvis. Let's get some distance. Not enough to actually smash asteroids, but, you know, hopefully to pick up. Where do the mediums actually start? Never mind, not going to worry about that. Is that far? 1,000 kilometers? Whatever, hopefully we get some stuff. And yeah, we're kind of just still smashing in all these rear solar panels wherever they'll fit. We've got rocket turrets covering the back. We've got this blue belt going around the outside that's doing all of the, like, this is kind of the main belt, and then we've got a drive sushi belt, struggling for UPS for reasons which I don't really understand, but whatever. Yeah, several things making calcite, another just making ice cubes. We've attempted to ratio this reasonably well. Yeah, all of these guys we've also attempted to ratio reasonably well. There we go, starting to get some fuel in. And then we've got, yeah, this other section with solar-powered foundries in space, which is... maybe this works. We are getting more material out. I think that the red ammo is not going to work for an interesting reason, in that, like, yes, all of the guns will do a whole lot of damage and that'll be fine. We've got this nice dense way that we've packed all these turrets together, and then, yeah, a whole bunch of rear grabbers trying to grab all the rocks, but we're not really finding it. We're not making any ammunition yet. Oh yeah, because we stopped making ammunition. There's a condition on this belt that checks to see how much fuel we have, so that we don't try and make ammunition if we are completely out of fuel. The thing is, we're checking the fuel on the... why are we... oh, because these guys go first, because these ice cubes get preference from this crusher. Cool. And then, yeah, so the two water tanks are connected. There's one water system for the whole thing, but shouldn't these guys be getting... oh, these are... yeah, and we don't need these to be rear long-handed at all. This is a blueprinting error. We're actually fine, which means, is that the only thing we need? We just need the extra solar panels, which we can get at any point. We can, in fact, just have this thing running and drive it over to either Vulcanus or Fulgora's not making... no, Fulgora's not making rear solar panels. Okay, so now it's a little bit easier to see how these tanks are kind of flipped, and then, yeah, cool, great. And then, yeah, other reasons why I'm not super happy on how this all works is, in order to do this red ammo thing, like, the unfortunate thing about red ammo is you get 30% more damage, which is, you know, great, but you take a lot more materials, and in the battle of space, materials is the thing we are fighting against. So we need more material for steel, we need more material for copper. That also means we have to use the less efficient advanced asteroid cracking stuff. Where is this? Nauvis, fine. And that also means that we've got to figure out a way of juggling which kinds of rocks we want to be cracking. And I think I end up going with, yeah, enabling. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the other bit of tech that I've got is. Yeah, let's start over here. We've got again, we're doing this thing of an ammo and asteroid belt going all the way around the outside, which is kind of empty and sad at the moment because, oh well. But instead of, yeah, and then we're still doing set filters on all the grabbers, which are unhappy because they, you know, don't have enough things to grab Nauvis orbit. As soon as we get some bullets, we can fly this thing to kind of anywhere. But until then, we're still kind of stuck. And we've got, yeah, instead of one combinator activating or deactivating each chunk of rocks, yeah, each type of rocks for the grabbers, we've got a constant combinator spitting out one kind of signal, and then an arithmetic combinator that just goes red signal, which is the one that connects to the, yeah, to this constant combinator, minus green signal, which is the thing that comes from the belt, output everything, do a difference, and so this tells us how many of each kind of rock we want, and that is the signal that sets the combinator, yeah, the settings on the grabbers. And we've got, yes, I think these want to change to ice crackers once we get going, but for the moment we also just want to get, I guess that's going to be, are these, okay, no, yeah, we're only cracking if we have these. Okay, so we actually need to change those inserters for the other stuff later, whatever. We're going to be making a bit of fuel. We're going to have, yeah, sure. Yeah, and then we've got this sort of nice rocket sushi. We're jamming all of these things in. We kind of just need to let this go for a bit. There's some nice belt sushi around the place of how we get all the various parts to the various places, but we also need this to gather enough ammunition to go anywhere. We could also just send up ammunition. Can we send up ammunition? We can't easily send up ammunition because we don't have a particularly great way, although we could just, yeah, we could just push the red ammo out here and put it on the belt on this side. But yeah, that's the first of these things, and as soon as we get enough stuff to equip all these guns, well, we'll be able to fly it somewhere and get, yeah, more stuff. It needs more stuff. Okay, so even sending up a bunch of red ammo, and I think we've sent up like a couple of hundred now, one of the advantages of this plan is that all of the turrets are caching more damage because there's more damage per entity, because red ammo better than yellow ammo. The downside is we need to fire a whole lot of ammo up here before we can start to get coverage on, say, this gun that would allow us to shoot things that will otherwise break off this bit of the ship, which is kind of bad. So, I mean, yeah, are we even, I'm not even sure if we're producing yet, whatever. Let's start to go to Fulgora. We don't, yeah, I think we're going to pause the ship if we end up seeing too many asteroids arriving that we don't want to shoot. I mean, getting more physical damage will definitely help us with the whole, okay, yeah, let's pause the ship here, because we are starting to pick up a whole lot more rocks, and all of these are things we definitely want. So we now have enough stuff hanging around on these belts to kind of be able to get to places, which is good, because now we can shoot the asteroids out of the way. Yeah, all of the collection is happening up the front. We're just shooting things out of our way and then picking up all the parts and then using that to build the munitions that go through space, which is fine when it works, and it does look like we are backed up on both red ammo and maybe not rockets, but whatever. Shortage of UPS, and then yeah, this is still maybe I should just design ships better that don't have quite as much sushi in them. But we are still running, and then I think if we have enough ammunition, and it looks like we do, I'm tempted to just send this straight back to Nauvis to do another run through the asteroids to continue to be able to pick up everything we need, because we do want to be... Yeah, we want to have enough stuff to be able to try throwing this at Aquillo, which might not work. Well, okay, I think it's probably going to get there, but also red ammo, we're going to struggle to manufacture enough stuff to shoot the asteroids out of the way. I mean, the physical damage will help. There's a point where... actually, there's an asteroid productivity research as well, isn't there? All of these things could help us get... Yeah, to make red bullets more viable. I mean, we're definitely... I mean, we're at Aquillo. We have made it to Aquillo. I was pretty happy this ship was always going to get to Aquillo, but I don't think that's going to be the problem. I think it's going to be whether or not it survives and gets back, because we're already doing this thing where we're running turrets out of ammunition, because it's just so much effort to try and collect and then process all of this red ammo. I thought about doing quality things as well, but then we can't use foundries. We would have to go back to electric furnaces, which is possibly also a move. Yeah, I just don't know that we're going to be well enough defended on all sides, especially if, like, what is even the power situation at the moment? Accumulator charge, because the question was also whether or not we have enough solar to be able to sustain the industry we're trying to do in the orbit of somewhere where the solar is really bad. Like, what is this, minus 40%? Yeah. Maybe this lives. I think we're just going to have to check in with it again later to see whether or not we're manufacturing the bullets fast enough to keep the asteroids off. Yeah. This is what will be the next ship, which I am quite hopeful will work reasonably well. We're still doing foundries in space, which, you know, we'll make it work, it'll be fine. We've got some regular solar panels here just to get everything running. I think we're going to talk more about this later because there's a lot going on. I'm pretty sure I'm still overcooking spaceship designs, but we're adding new tricks to kind of every new step. The thing we're actually limited on is foundation. We need a whole lot of foundation, and so yeah, we're limited by that over, where is it, down here somewhere? Yeah, we're just making foundation at whatever rate we can. So I think there's a spot over here where we can maybe get... Are you fully running? You've got a whole lot of spare stuff. Can we... Okay, so maybe let's jam some of this stuff in here and here. I see no way this goes wrong. Request chests, and then how are we also going to get the steel in? Where's a... Must have a request chest around here somewhere. A thing that I can queue. Maybe not. Okay, I've got them in my inventory. It's fine. If we just ask for steel, maybe quite a lot of steel, and then maybe you guys could go faster? Oh wait, no, because one of the other things I threw in somewhere is we're pretty much just going to try to work with, especially for Aquillo stuff, rare assemblers now. I didn't realize that I managed to flush away all of the basic assemblers. Okay, fine. In that case, we're probably going really quite fast here, right? And then, yeah, stack and soda, stack and soda. Okay, so the... Do I have a medium pole? I must be able to find a medium pole to queue. So the whole... Because it's supposed to be an episode about going to Aquillo, so hopefully we can just... yeah, you guys go up there. Hopefully we can just get all of this running a little faster. Are you making enough stuff? Probably. You've got tier 2 speed modules. You could have more speed modules. You could also have more output, so that's fine. And then I guess we could also, yeah, upgrades. Upgrades are fine. sure, whatever, we fixed it. And yeah, so while we're waiting for that to happen, we're just going to leave these unlimited because we need quite a lot of that stuff. There are a couple of other achievements I was thinking about getting on Nauvis before we left for Aquillo. Deathworld is what this means now. We were always going to do this at some point. I was wondering about like breaking the wall here just above this oil, but I think we may as well run it all the way across because we've already kind of got a network here that we can extend. Maybe we enclose this iron as well. We don't really need it. Maybe we turn this little island here if we end up grabbing the rest of this continent, putting a little wall here and turning this into another little biter sanctuary slash Theta's wood chipper. Yeah, and then Gleba's having some issues that we looked at. Jesper's, Jay's, whatever, is in the interesting situation of, yeah, there aren't actually enough rocks in orbit to make the missiles we need. I think we try and just bail and maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Let's just see if we can get to Fulgora. And then it's likely going to... Oh no, we're going to... yeah, this is a doomed ship, which I was always kind of okay with, but it was just down to the RNG of whether or not one of these big ones lined up with the central structure, and it does, so unlucky to be them. Oh well. Yeah, the other one, Hexacube, is fully built, with the exception of a couple of solar panels. Actually, didn't we give... We did give it the other solar panels, okay. Let's just throw together an upgrade planner. Actually, is it this upgrade planner? Yes. Any kind of solar panel that is not rare. Well, yeah, any kind of solar panel, downgrade to normal solar panels because we have all of those. And now if we can collect some rocks, make some ammunition, eventually make some fuel. We're not making fuel yet either, are we? Oh, because this one... Okay, get rid of this piece of belt and this inserter. And now we won't be moving materials into the ammunition loop, which we're going to talk more about later. There's a lot of things going on in this ship. We've got science here as well. But yeah, we want rocks down here so we can get some amount of thrust to do the same kind of push out to collect more rocks trick. And yeah, by the time we've built this wall and enclosed this territory and got rail out to here, I guess, we will be in a position to move that backwards and forwards. So we did in fact take an expansion in here when we kind of didn't necessarily need to. We were kind of aggressive about unpacking the walls. That means this guy gets to die as well. Here's another expansion party apparently. They can all go away. And yeah, so we've taken a nuke death as well, which is pretty exciting. That was probably always going to happen. Oh, we've given away the bots. Sure. I guess we're going to do another sweep to make sure that this territory is actually all ours. I think by the time the walls are solid, we should be free of expansion threats, and they should be now. Yeah, this is all fine now. Other than the fact that we need to bring maybe more landfill. I think there were some places where I landfilled this, but we also don't have that here. Never mind. I think we're just going to go unpack stuff from the other wall. Yeah, I think these bases can expand in here because they're within range of where the nests are, even if the path is going all the way around. But now we've locked this down, this should all be our territory, and we shouldn't have to worry about it anymore. Other than, oh, is here where we need the landfill? Yeah, landfill. Cool, fine. I believe us to be in a position where we've got everything done in Nauvis that we wanted to. We've got the walls. I'm pretty sure there's no expansions in here. Oh well, never mind. Time for Hexacube, which has now gone on a couple of journeys and has all the stuff that it wants and full tanks and things. Okay, not actually full tanks. And not enough asteroids because, you know, the inner planets just don't have that much stuff. But yeah, we want to be defining all the things to take to Aquillo, and then I don't remember exactly which planets these come from, but I'm pretty sure we've got all this stuff floating around. We're going to have to do a couple of little tours. Probably we want to go back to Gleba as well to make that science work, because there are still... yeah, we're doing artillery range, which we don't really need, and the same with the steel productivity, but I would really like to get the couple of ranks of plastic and asteroid processing, which does need the Gleba science, which means maybe we have to go back there after all. Sad noises. Time to do a little tour and pick up a bunch of stuff. That's nearly true. One of the things we should do first is actually throw Hex Cube over to Aquillo to make sure it can get there and get back and be generally fine. And I'm pretty happy that it will, but let's talk about why we're more confident about this design than the last one, because yeah, we are pretty rich, but we don't have infinitely many rare thrusters to be firing into asteroids all the time. This pattern has more or less the same drive section, which we haven't really dove into yet. We'll save that for a time when we're not trying to be on Aquillo. But we've only got 4 thrusters in each section rather than the 5th one, so we're going pretty slowly. Though we are, you know, going pretty fast overall. We also had these rare rocket turrets sitting around, so I figured why not use those, and it turns out those look like they extend the maximum range but not the minimum range, so we've got a long while to shoot the asteroids in front of us, which looks like it's going to be pretty great. The other thing we've got is a vastly increased rate of rocket production. And so we've got, yeah, the main blue belt going around the outside, which has all the ammunition on all the asteroids, which is a pattern that I like. And then we've also got, yeah, the rockets come through, ammunition comes through here, gets made, gets jumped onto the main belt with these 2 inserters that are doing a set filters thing. Don't worry about the asteroids, they're for a different thing. But then also any ammunition that doesn't go directly onto the main belt also gets buffered here. On this other buffer that can then get onto the main belt at a rate of, basically we can fill the half belt with ammunition if either of the kinds of ammunition we need are suitably low. So overall, yeah, we got to Aquillo pretty fine. We've got a whole lot of, yeah, the other big differences are, yeah, this power pole here is connected to the main belt, so we currently have, what, about 180 asteroids just buffered on the main belt. That doesn't include the other drive buffer. It doesn't include the fuel that's in tanks or sitting in front of the processing. It doesn't include what's on the ammunition buffer belt. And there's also de-sushied asteroids and calcite and carbonic asteroids in here as well. So we've got a lot of asteroids that we can keep manufacturing with. So I still don't think we're going to be super happy. Like, we can't forget about this ship and just leave it in Aquillo and expect it to be fine forever, in particular because we haven't given it... Yeah, it's still only got the normal solar panels, but it is... Yeah, we need to get the better solar panels so that it can sit here for a little longer, but I am happy at this point that we have suitably tested this thing and that it is able to get to Aquillo and kind of hang out there and protect its flanks. So I think there's actually... I think there's one spot, like, in here where this gun turret kind of protects, and this other gun turret also kind of protects, but if something hit us at the right angle at the rear fast enough, we could lose thrusters, but I'm not super worried about that. I'm pretty happy we've proven all we wanted to. We are going to fly this thing back to Nauvis before it... Yeah, because I think one of the ways this could definitely go wrong is if we ran out of power. Yeah, if we ran out of power while we were in orbit around Aquillo and didn't have the charge to be running all of these fairly electrically intensive, you know, ammunition productions, and then run out of ammunition. But yeah, pretty happy that that's going to do a thing. We're going to bring it back. We're going to put all the expensive stuff on it because we are, yeah, at this point, thinking about loading it up with rare blue chips and rare superconductors and, you know, a whole lot of rare holmium plate and a whole lot of actually modules we're fine with. We've got a billion modules, but the things we're putting on the ship are pretty expensive. Also, we've got space science on this thing, which is a thing Becky was previously doing. So what's up with that? And we've also, yeah, we talked about how Mindtech was sitting around in Fulgora, not doing much, kind of collecting ice asteroids to send down to be nuclear fuel water. And both of these, yeah, this and Becky, are kind of all asteroid limited. So what we're going to do instead of that, and we've kind of already sent a bunch of the stuff up for Becky to have, is we're going to use the same... This one is the red ammo one? Yeah, 5 foundries, don't want that one, we're never going to use that again. This one is the one that we are going to give to Becky, which is the current plan that we have, although I think, yeah, we're still... Why are you trying to go somewhere? Don't try and go anywhere, just receive all the stuff. We do need a lot of foundation, which is why we have... yeah, why we're trying to make so much foundation. So now we're just going to receive a bunch of items. Hexcube is still absolutely fine. And yeah, so one of the other things in here is this belt of ice asteroids that's also just going underneath all these solar panels and foundries, because I figured we go and see a lot of ice asteroids when we're heading out towards Aquillo. May as well capture these and do something with them. And, you know, we can solve the space science dependency on collecting asteroids by also just putting this on a ship with a lot more stuff. And so we can have several of these things flying around the place once we actually get all the stuff built. The thing is, so that's kind of why we blasted the foundation production before, because we're going to need all of it. But we kind of see here, this has given us a bit of a steel problem, and then we also Logimold some of the steel over to the purple science, which is, yeah, going to continue to be a problem. We beaconed this as well and gave these better modules, and then these are also from Fulgora now, so we're importing stuff to make yellow science if we can't actually make the yellow science. But one of the consequences is the steel train is not here because we are struggling for the amount of steel we can make. And it turns out we're trying to do it from just basic tier 1 modules, which no one likes. So let's just go to the map view. I guess we aren't doing as many things. I guess we've got more to do on Nauvis than we thought we did. Actually, let's get rid of all of these ones. We don't need quite so many, because in addition to... Actually, let's do some of these first and then the others later, because I want to be able to compare their numbers before and after we add the beacons, because of course beacons are going in the middle of this. We've just boosted the productivity, although not a lot. Most of the productivity boost is coming from the steel research, which is good. I don't have them on me here either, so let's go and get some... yeah, rare beacons. and then we've got rare speed mod 3, so let's put one of these in, and then a rare speed mod 1, which we're also making a bunch of for spaceship stuff. And yeah, what kind of rates of things are we looking at now? Crafting speed 4.32, 68% productivity versus, yeah, 54% productivity. The prod mod boost isn't doing much, but it's doing a little bit. What's mostly doing a lot of work is the beacon. In fact, these things are, yeah, super heavily beacon now. Okay, we're going to need to upgrade these belts as well, which is not necessarily a concern. Yeah, get these through here, get these guys through here, and then we can just do all of this again. Bots are fine with it. Okay, so we've boosted some of our steel. This isn't really the steel that's going on the train, though. We're going to have to do this somewhere else, which is down here. And these guys also have all of their just rank 1 module 1. So yeah, we've got some of this upgraded to red belt already, but we need to upgrade these as well. We're going to do that, and then we're probably going to leave. Oh wow. And then for all of our talking about going to Gleba when we were done with Nauvis, we're not even doing that. We're going to Fulgora first. Yeah, so one of the issues we've had at Fulgora for a while, I mean, this is also still not looking super happy, but whatever, is we've had this holmium solution building up, and for a while we were flushing it, and then we realized we needed quite a lot of it for the cryoscience. So I've just been building more tanks rather than doing anything with it. So we need a long-term solution for this, fortunately, and we actually brought Becky over here because Becky's kind of great at this stuff. We brought over with us a bunch of foundries. So we're going to use these foundries to not just get more holmium plate out, but also process the rest of this into holmium as well. Because, yeah, when the only thing that's really using this holmium is the science and then the exports, and we're not really doing that many exports, we're about to. And when we fill up on science, it's kind of grim. So I thought this was going to need, what's the space resource? Calcite, but it actually doesn't. It's just exactly the same recipe. So I think what we do is we create a little bit of space so we can put some pumps in here, and then just, because we don't necessarily want to drain all of this stuff if we still need it for science, somewhere there should be a pump I can queue. And so, yeah, we'll throw all of this holmium out here. We do want to do the... you guys don't have the upgraded modules. You have the upgraded modules. Queue this. Oh, these are the tier 3 rare modules. That is a thing we want. Okay, yeah, not yet. Get your modules first. Then where are we going to put this stuff? I think we're just going to dump this straight into the logistics network and not worry about it. Is that true? That's not quite true, because we want to recycle this up to... Do we have space to recycle this? I guess we're putting it up here. Yeah, we want to do use filters quality greater than normal and just dump those. Do I have these? Do bots not have these? That's why that wasn't happening. Okay, whatever. Yeah, put this pump back. Only do this process if the holmium solution is greater than, say, 6,000. Let's go 4,000. Because we want to 4,000 because we want to get rid of a bunch of these tanks. I don't want all these tanks here long term. They're kind of only here while we're kind of processing this stuff out. Okay, and then all of the... Can we put a belt here? Yes. Do you need to move? So we're gonna have... Actually, can we put... Not there. You're on the... Okay, so now we can have maybe a full belt. How much are you guys making? 7... Slightly more than a yellow belt, but also allegedly some of it is going to be at quality. And then we don't need this stuff for science because we're already providing the science from elsewhere. Okay, we're actually going to need to cool cliff explosives. I don't have cliff explosives here, but whatever. Yeah, let's get this over here and then do a recycler thing. And the holmium is reasonably expensive, I believe. So let's just recycle all of this, and let's also get speed modules and all of these guys. You're gonna need to move a little bit. And then a lot of recyclers, I actually don't know whether or not these recyclers are going to keep up with the pace at which the foundries are spitting stuff out. But also, kind of doesn't matter. Let's do that on the other side. All we need to do is really keep up with the rate at which the holmium process is doing stuff. Okay, so now we can buffer a whole lot of better than normal quality holmium. We should have... Oh, these are... Yeah, these need to be quality filtered normal. I just saw some quality holmium on this belt somewhere, which is not what we want. We want this quality holmium in these places. And then just upgrade all of this, and how are we going to get... Maybe we should have done that on the other side after all. This way around? I don't like that. Ulti this thing, put these here. We're launching rockets because we are already prepping for... Yeah, let's do that. Because now we can take priority from the normal stuff that's... this wants to be the other way. Yeah, now we can take priority from the holmium that's coming out of the recyclers, and we can still have nearly a full belt of this stuff. But I think also, given the fact that these guys are 5 crafting speed, I don't think we're going to be making that holmium that quickly. I think we're going to blow through this solution. But also, productivity is nice, so we're going to copy this guy and wander over to... This looks blocked. Oh, no, it's still moving. Okay. This is the spot where we were previously doing this, which is the... Actually, we're not even using tier 3 modules for this. We're still using tier 2 modules. Wild. I think all of this can go, and we'll do this... okay, it's not what I wanted. Maybe it is what I wanted. You get... Yeah, look at all that nice quality holmium. We like that. We can make science out of that. We can make things... We can make cryo plants out of that. Nearly. Okay, we're going to do this differently as well, but in more or less the same way. Do we still have this in the paste buffer? We do. So now we are making yeah, a whole lot of holmium in more or less the same way, and we want to reconstruct basically this belt with... Yeah, we're going to need to be able to pull all of this holmium out. And we are currently not quality filtered, and then we kind of need to figure out how to do this in the space that we have. Do you just connect in here? Filter out normal on one side. Oh no, wait, because we would also be putting rare holmium over here, which is not what we want, unless we also just go... use filters for greater than uncommon. Okay, so now we're putting the uncommon holmium into the science. We are putting any of the normal and uncommon holmium into the science. You guys can have this stuff. Any surplus we will be recycling. Any rare stuff we will be saving from the science, although this isn't necessarily guaranteed to save all the rare stuff from the science. And then over here, what are we doing? We are... yeah, on the left we want greater than or equal to, so that is actually what we want. And then if we just run the normal stuff, taking priority, and we can... yeah, okay. So I think this is going to be... yeah, so any normal holmium we make goes into the science, and any surplus gets recycled. Any uncommon science also goes into the science, but then a surplus gets recycled. And then any uncommon or maybe we only want rare here. No, we're still going to get a bunch of uncommon. We're still going to get a bunch of common holmium out of this, aren't we? I was wondering if we wanted to take a chunk of the uncommon stuff and yeah, take some proportion of the uncommon holmium and upscale it to rare, but I think we've got enough rare for all of the cryo plants we need, and then uncommon holmium is just going to be a super useful thing to have for science. I think we can do a lot of the science at uncommon, but the other thing we needed, and kind of looking at the tech menu to figure out what we need to take to Aquillo, processing unit, superconductors, lithium plate, all of those things we can do at high quality, because lithium at high quality comes from holmium plate, and that will set the quality for the other liquid ingredients, so that's fine. The thing we don't have is refined concrete at high quality, but what we do have is a regular concrete at uncommon quality, and then somewhere, although it also might be in space at the moment because we're already launching stuff, we also have, actually we can just press L, can't we? If we look at the kinds of concrete we have sitting around, we've got, yeah, a thing that's making refined concrete not particularly well, we've got enough rare concrete for 2 silos, which I like a lot, and then we've got a pile of uncommon concrete. So I think we do a thing to upgrade this and then manufacture this rare concrete into refined concrete. Here we are going to, actually this is not the one we wanted at all, is it? This we wanted actually over here, and this is going to request concrete at uncommon quality, and we're just going to junk all of it, maybe with quality, and maybe we make some more concrete out of it again, or maybe we make some rare quality concrete, which is going to go over here, of which we've also rescued a small amount, so we're not going to continue doing this, and then we request some steel at rare quality and poles at, actually iron plate at rare quality, which we are hitting with prod mods because we don't have a whole lot of iron plate, but that's fine. And so we should now have a way of upgrading all of this concrete into rare concrete. Yeah, and we do actually get out the bits of concrete we need, should be fine. We're going to have a way of making very slowly, I guess, because we're getting the concrete here, we're getting the uncommon concrete, we will have an indefinite source of refined rare concrete, which we're going to use. Okay, I think... oh no, wait, that isn't everything, is it? There's Gleba. We are nearly done with everything we wanted to, but you actually had to go and... yeah. We've also discovered a fairly fun failure mode of this craft, which is if we're not actually firing rockets, the only thing that uses water is the explosives, and if these back up, then we don't crush any ice, which means we don't get any calcite, which means we don't make any molten iron, which means we don't get any ammunition, which means that I think long term, yeah, so we took off the ignore unlisted targets for a couple of these things just to fire some rockets to get some of it working. But why isn't it? Explosives. Oh, we're also not making explosives because we're not getting that iron out. That is a super interesting failure mode. So yeah, because we need to be... can we just... oh, we can actually flush water from space. So that's fine. That's how we can recover from that, because once we can make water, we can be crushing ice to be making the calcite, to be making the iron, to get all of that running. But yeah, that's kind of a spooky thing. I think we're going to set most of these back to ignore targets, but have a couple that aren't ignoring targets, especially while we're not going to Aquillo, because if we're not firing all of these, because if we're not going to Aquillo often and we're not firing these rockets, we have ourselves an interesting little situation. Yeah, we're still taking expansions everywhere. This is the one that's been giving us trouble, but also these ones are around. We're expanding in here as well. I think we might push a couple of these bases, having got some of this processing mostly online, and then just come back and like maybe even just completely rebuild Gleba, because we are doing artillery tech that we don't really need. Have we run out of space science? Maybe we've run out of space science. But the other thing is, one of the sad reasons about Gleba dying is this power pole here turns out to be how we run the signal out to the cranes to tell them to work or not. So we're going to do that differently. And then I think there's also a way to send signals through radars so that we can have a completely separate power backbone that goes all the way around this side. Do I have enough poles for this? No, we don't have enough poles. Cool. Oh, we could have had enough poles if we had connected it instead over here. So now we can lose one power pole and not worry about it, and then get the signals in differently. We'll have to do some combat stuff, that's fine. I think the other thing holding Gleba back is that the automatic restart of this by making copper making copper bacteria from the fruit is that we are just constantly requesting it. Where? Over here, yeah. And so I don't think we want to be making bacteria from the fruit, because it's just using a whole lot of fruit unless this machine isn't running. So, do we even have a decider combinator? We do. Decider combinator here, and connect this to read working control signal. Actually, we don't need the combinator at all. Read working control signal wants to be copper bacteria. Actually, read contents, including crafting, is better, isn't it? Because if it couldn't be not working because of a bioflux shortage, in which case we don't want to be banging all the fruit out. But this will, let's just change this to read contents, including crafting, read working, let's get rid of that control signal. So now, now with these guys reading their contents, we should be able to wander over to some of these things and see that these are disabled by controller behavior, and check this and see that we are getting bioflux and the bacteria on the network as well, and then the jellies and mash pulsing on and off, because that's how that works. I think we need to push a little bit more, but I think we're ready to otherwise just start going to Aquillo. Gleba is cleansed somewhat. Yeah, the witness over here that gave us a bit of trouble. Really interesting is that the UPS seems to have tidied up after we've pushed everything off Gleba. I'm wondering whether it's something about pentapods in particular and the amount of pathfinding they have to do to figure out where to put all their feet that makes everything just much worse. But never mind, now it's time to get rid of all of these eggs that we definitely do not want around and then actually go to Aquillo. We are on our way to Aquillo. I think we've probably over-prepared. That's probably fine. We've got both Becky and Hexcube turning up over here. We haven't really given them automated schedules yet. We need to do that. We don't want to have them sitting around in the Aquillo atmosphere, you know, running down their power grid and exploding again. But I'm hoping that we can get down there, send some useful stuff down, and yeah, partially unload these things before we can send them back on some other route. And yeah, just getting to Aquillo, it's fine. Hexcube is... I don't remember whether Hexcube is in front or behind, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're kind of the same. So for the last time, we go to a planet for the first time. Okay, there's more stuff here than I expected. I was wondering whether it was going to start off being a little C-block thing and having basically no room to move. But we have kind of enough space, which I like a whole lot. So let's go, and yeah, Becky is in orbit and is fine. Let's drop down a cargo landing pad and some cargo bays. Sure. And then from Hexcube, from our other collection of massively over-prepared stuff, let's get enough stuff to make a couple of bots. And yeah, we'll try and set all of that stuff up and then start calling down some other things. I think we've got a lot of stuff. We've got things to make rare rocket silos and all that kind of stuff. Where are our things? Yeah, cargo landing pad. I wanted the bots first. Bots are pretty bad on Aquillo. Apparently, there's a lot of power grid usage associated with them, which is why I'm happy that we've got, you know, vastly too many bots on. Please. Yeah, lithium processing researched. I'm happy that we have vastly too much energy in our suit for the number of robobots and stuff like that we have. Yeah, see, the bots are already tired and sad, never mind. Mostly what we wanted to do is figure out... Okay, so we've already got some ice platform. Number 4 is train stuff. Number 5 is going to be a new Aquillo toolbar, because we're going to be here for a while. Let's get the cargo landing pad. And yeah, and then we'll just slap some storage onto it. We're not really worried about... Can it build on rough ice? Fascinating. I did not realize that was a thing. This is, because it's Aquillo, allegedly going to freeze and stop working if we don't heat it. So let's get on that as well. Becky, you should now be able to send down a bunch of concrete. Let's get some heat pipe. Should we get the silo stuff? Let's get some of the silo stuff. Because we have just dropped all of the fuel? A lot of the fuel. Oh, actually, maybe we should add... If we give this guy more storage capacity, we will... This is more about giving rocket slots into which we can drop all the things we... Did we drop heat pipe from Becky? I don't remember which of these things we've got or still want, but that's fine. And then science stuff we can worry about later, beacons we can worry about later. On Hypercube, and yeah, all of these guys still have a whole lot of missiles, so we're not really worried about them running out of stuff and dying. Get us, yeah, some heat pipe. Give me some long-handed inserters and all of this kind of useful stuff. Pipes. Oh yeah, the pipes for the solar we're going to need as well. I think we need to, I mean, we've got some solar panels, so we're going to try and kick off some stuff with that. Yeah, just get some turbines, get some pump jacks, some... Do we need offshore pumps? I don't know. Yeah, what else do we... We've got the bots, we've got... I think that's going to do for the moment, maybe? And then also I'm noticing that we have a bunch of space here, so I think these things that we turned... that we somewhat turned off to save science space, we can just make work again. Same with Becky? Yeah. Keep cementing down concrete. And then do we have... Yeah, we want... Oh, we didn't get heating towers after all of that. I'm pretty sure we have heating towers, don't we? This would be somewhat calamitous. Yeah, here we go. Let's grab all the heating towers. This would be somewhat calamitous if we did not have the heating towers. These don't tell me a temperature, which is interesting. Okay, give me all this stuff. Sure, why not? Then, yeah. So I am also, like, one of the things I was wondering about was how the whole pump jack situation worked, and it looks like the way it works, especially with these other asteroids, little islands that we're seeing off to the side, is the pump jacks, like the places where the pump jacks go, might just be always on ice. Like, I was wondering about whether or not we had to go and build more flooring underneath where pump jacks would be, but it looks like that's probably not the case. Okay, all the bots are unhappy, that's fine. Give me the stuff, and let's... I don't know whether I need to heat all of these cargo bays as well. That'd be an interesting thing to find out. I think we're going to not heat the cargo bays, just to see what happens. But our cargo landing pad is now... Okay, it's not yet, but it hopefully should be. Bots are... Okay, bots have done their thing. Let's just keep going with this. We got some roboports as well, but like we also don't have... Actually, at this point... Like, we got that initial solar, which is kind of garbage, but we don't... Like, our suit is the best power on this planet at the moment. Wild. Okay, things we wanted were... Yeah, what happens if we get an offshore pump? What do we get? Ammonia solution. Let's put some ammonia solution in. It cannot build on rough ice. Interesting. Is this rough ice? That's rough ice. Okay, so if we want this stuff, we've got to find a place like over here. Frozen. It's just instantly frozen. Interesting. Oh, this is heated up much faster than I expected, I guess because we've got the... Yeah, this is the rare version, which means it's heating faster, which is nice. Okay, so this... I was wondering what... Like, one of the things I wanted to do was just throw an inserter, like, somewhere and see how long it took to freeze, and the answer to that is instant, which also means these aren't instantly frozen, which means we don't have to heat them, which is super interesting. Anyway, we picked up a whole bunch of ice. We want to be able to do... Where? I guess it doesn't really matter, because everything is going to be a mess anyway. Yeah, let's give ourselves a little gap so we can do some heat pipe stuff. Is that a good place? That's actually a terrible place, isn't it? Let's move this over a little so that we can have an inserter in here for fuel. Ah, that's... This, when we connected this, immediately melted all that ground. So that's a thing that is interesting that I like. Anyway, okay, so the turbines are frozen. We need to unfreeze the turbines as well, which is going to be interesting. How do we want to do that? Like, we could run heat pipe through the middle, because we've also got to get power around the outside somewhere. These turbines, yeah, I'm still not used to the idea of these pipes being bigger, but also whatever. We should have some belt, but it also kind of doesn't matter yet. You just keep fueling, and then, yeah, these are not how we can jumpstart the power. The idea is we're going to have somewhere, and we might have to. Oh no, we can put. Okay, so there's a weird. This texture is rough ice. But I also thought that this cloud-looking texture was the same as this. Whatever. Maybe it's a thing about just not having heat pipe. Let's have. Why not? What is... Cannot build on smooth ice. So we can't build heat pipes on smooth ice. Can we build... We cannot build heat pipes on smooth ice. Where's the... Oh, the rough ice that we found was over here? I'm just getting... Oh, so somewhere... Maybe this is the rough ice. Whatever, moving on. Yeah, so we will need to defrost these first. We need to get power in here. I mean, the first goal was just going to be, can we get any sort of power grid going? And for that, the answer is going to be yes, quite easily. Because, oh wait, can we... This ice platform landfill? No, that smooth ice is always going to be a thing. What about this... Wait, this gives me smooth ice? Ah, because we also need to do the concrete thing, don't we? We forgot about that. That was kind of important. That was going to... Ah, there we go. We've remembered how the mechanics work of the game that we've... I mean, this wasn't the first time on the planet. We haven't really thought about it. Okay, so we've got to remember to concrete everything. That's why we brought all this concrete. And so now we can run this heat pipe down where the smooth ice was. Actually, that's another thing that I wanted to see. Allegedly, this heat pipe will melt the ice that it's around. So let's see if we can see that as well. We don't have... I don't have any iron or anything like that. Becky, do we have... We've got storage now. We've got quite a lot of storage. And we've figured out the storage isn't going to suffer if things get cold. So, Becky, drop me a bit of rocket fuel. Do I want the rest of the rare steel? Give me the stuff. Give me all of the non-science stuff. And then these you're not going to need. Did you have any spare? I mean, a couple of random bits of modules. I will use these. You will not be able to. And then we're down to the drop slots. Sure, because I wanted to be able to set this up to time pass. Let's have 240 seconds, Aquillo, and then also just go back to Nauvis for... Actually, we are refueling things at mostly Fulgora. So this is the schedule we're going to go with. We're going to go Fulgora, Nauvis, Vulcanus, Gleba, a basic time pass thing. Just keep them moving, keep them collecting asteroids. We're not really worried about it. We don't actually need to collect the materials. Let's keep doing the flooring. Let's not worry about the 2 silos because we've got all that stuff. Yeah, just go and do the thing. Don't sit around in Aquillo all day because you... are actually keeping up on missiles. Maybe you won't. Hexcube has got the same thing, but we need to be a little more careful about which of these things we keep active so that it doesn't continue to request everything. Let's make sure we're still... let's not do any of that. Okay, whatever. It's fine. Yeah, just go. So we've got a helpful pile of stuff. I don't think we have all the stuff we need, but we do at least have... Like, these solar panels are not good. But they will... okay, it's... make them more fit. We're going to move these later. We just want some solar panels to be able to kickstart... yeah, and then we've got to have these over here, I guess. Some solar panels to kickstart the inserters, for which we are not yet making the fuel, but it's fine. But the reason we wanted these solar panels was to be able to power a chem plant. A chem plant. Which we are going to set to the ice melting recipe, because I think that's how... Yeah, ammonia and crude oil. In ingredients, products, ice and ammonia, and then we combine the ammonia and the crude oil to get solid fuel, and then more ammonia. And then we also have to melt the water to get the rocket fuel, which is fine. And then the... yeah, let's throw an assembler down as well. Here looks like it's going to be fine. And because I wanted to look at the recipe for this thing, it's ice and ammonia. Fine. Okay. So we're probably not using Logibots because the bot energy thing here is bad. I also wanted to go around here so we could just slap in something like this. And now we get just enough solar power to melt some ice cubes. Or maybe we should also... Did we ever get... We got some efficiency modules that Becky had left over. So you can do that, so you don't need much power. Power grid is probably nearly dead. That's fine. Oh yeah, let's get this guy off the grid. But we just want to be able to get some water through. This is going to work fine. Oh, that's right. That's why I sent down all the other... I did not send down all the other materials. I wanted to get iron and things like that so I could make a box to be able to feed this guy its stuff before we started getting in here. But it's fine now because we only needed that much. Fuel this guy, get a whole lot of heat in these pipes. As soon as that happens, these are low temperature, but it's fine. The other thing I'm wondering about is whether or not this heat pipe naturally bleeds off temperature as it's in a cold place. I wanted to see this melt the stuff. Okay, so maybe we can... We've got a whole lot of this stuff. But we can't... Allegedly, this heat pipe was going to just... Oh, this thing here. We've got a little bit of deformation on the smooth ice. So maybe that's how... Because I want to see how this works. But never mind. Oh, we're still getting up to temperature. Okay, we have a way to address this. Consisting of giving all these guys more fuel. Okay, yeah, you're still running based on the solar power. When all of this kicks off, we get the steam. There's a whole lot more stuff in here that we don't need. Okay, I'm going to run around and just pick up some rocks while we're kind of waiting for the ships to get back with the boxes that I wanted. This is actually a lie. We're just going to pull Becky back to Aquillo now. Probably there's enough munitions to not worry about it. Yeah, it's probably fine. Because you've got a lot of bullets. The thing that strikes me is, one of the things these platforms are doing is grabbing calcite in case we need calcite and maybe also ice. And then we turn these limits down because we weren't... Yeah, we were filling these things up with all the materials we would bring over, which we're not anymore, but also, I think for a while we're going to be ice negative on Aquillo, so that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to change this inserter at all. I wanted to change this combinator to ask for, say, 800 ice, sure, and then this combinator passes the signals to these inserters, and so now this science loop, one of the things this science loop does is we are buffering ice in here as well, which is also why we've got all of these ice crystals just kind of underneath there. So we've got a way of getting ice. We aren't seeing these heat pipes destroy things, whatever. Okay. Becky has returned and delivered us the iron we wanted and also the ice we wanted. The reason why I wanted actually not this many boxes, but you get down here. We'll concrete all of this, and then, oh yeah, inserters that do I only have long-handed inserters? Okay, that is acceptable. In that case, we're going to put it over here. You have all of the ice, so now you are just working on making ice, except we're not really using it. The other thing we wanted was... Why are we even trying to put long-handed inserters into the heat exchangers? That's silly. We want to put long-handed inserters in here, but we still did want to leave enough space for that belt, so I don't really mind. But the idea of this is we can... you here... Yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy the pattern of long-handed inserters going over... heat pipe just to keep everything warm, but the reason we were doing that was to monitor the heat of these things, read temperature, and then also enable disable if T is, say, less than 600. Less than 600. 6,000 would be a pretty aggressive temperature. And so now we can give away some amount of fuel. And then we are now, yeah, we should be going up to particular temperatures. Maybe using all of the fuel that we had. Is Becky still in orbit, and does Becky have... Yeah, Becky has fuel. Give us all of the fuel. We'll be fine. And then give us all of that stuff as well. Why are we... Oh, this is carbon that Becky had before when she was in a different role that we don't actually have a use for now. Okay, fine. Yeah, so we've cleaned up Becky's inventory pretty nicely with the exception of the concrete, so let's... I mean, we're not planning on losing this, so this is a position we will always have. Becky can just go and grab a bunch more stuff from around the place. It's going to be fine. And we are also, yeah, not limited by space. Okay, let's grab half this, and then let's have both of these guys fueled a whole bunch. But we should also... There is significant passive heat drain. Like, we're not really... Yeah, we're not generating any power output because we're not doing anything with this guy. We're not really moving water through, but we are losing heat. Just from the nature of being on an ice planet, which, to be fair, does make a lot of sense. Okay, let's see if we can concrete over to... And we can concrete some of it. And then I guess we need... We can't do all of the landfill stuff yet. What is this material? Give me something that... Oh, it's something I can't just straight build on. Interesting. So I don't have... Oh, I can concrete that. Okay. The issue was entirely mine. Okay, so we need concrete over here because we need to be able to get oil stuff over here. I think we're just going to run a long heat pipe over here. We're going to have a different exchanger. I mean, we're not short on concrete. We might be short on this landfill. Yeah, okay, so it was just places we needed to landfill. Okay, these pump jacks are going to be unhappy, but it's going to be necessary. I think we're going to go with... Yeah, not necessarily even heat exchangers, but heating towers in many places. Let's have a heating tower like right here. Let's remember that we needed to get fuel from somewhere, and we've got other dudes bringing more fuel, so it's fine. Let's remember that we wanted this kind of... Yeah, we've got heat pipe there, it's fine. We wanted this kind of pattern. Yeah, so that we can now give some of this fuel in, but then also this temperature is checking that we don't throw all of this fuel away. And now we have... a place that we can start to figure out how to get both pipes and power poles and... Yeah, let's go pipes here. We've got more of these pipes that we're going to need. We need all of these to be adjacent to heat pipe, and also I think this one is going to have to run down here, because if we want to get this heat pipe through... Okay, so that's as far as that link goes. This one also just turns this way. Yeah, this is fine. Normal things. Okay, we've got some power poles. We can power all of these in some way, and then I guess the nature of power poles is we probably just are running a length of heat pipe along the place to keep all the... Power poles don't freeze? Maybe we don't need this. Power poles do not freeze. The pipes definitely freeze. Yeah, we saw frozen pipes. That's fine. Okay. Does diagonal heat pipe also works? Diagonal connections to heat pumps, to heat pipes are in fact fine. That's interesting. Is this one connected? This one is not connected and will struggle to connect. This guy is fine. Okay, so we've got some oil. So the plan here is going to be, yeah, we're going to need all of this space, I guess. Because the long-term power plan for all of these things is I didn't know if we needed refineries, when we definitely need refineries as it turns out. Are we doing advanced processing? Do we have richness? We do have oil richness, which means these will run down, and we do have to worry about the possibility of running out of oil. I think that's a thing we worry about later, after we are more online. I think at the moment, we just do... Is that true? We've got ice from the atmosphere. Let's also always be requesting, yeah, please bring me ice to Aquillo, which is wild. Becky will have a good time, it's fine. Yeah, I think we do set this up for the advanced processing immediately, because we will need... You guys are barely doing anything. Oh yeah, because we're not processing anything yet. Yeah, something like this. And I think we're just going to start by making a mess. I think that's almost always going to be the plan. We also might struggle to do the normal... Like, what happens if we try and put another one of these guys here? Okay, some of these pipes are in the wrong place. This one we don't need, yeah. Can we still do... these, we're going to flip, not those, this way, like so. Is there a way that we can get... Okay, there is. I don't think we're going to bother... Okay, but we actually need to move these back slightly. How do we make the landfill again? Ice and ammonia. And then we got the ammonia from a chem plant, from the ammonia solution. Maybe we just also set one of these up real fast and nasty over here. Where is... Can we put concrete down? Yeah, we need somewhere where we can get... Yeah, the downside of landfilling all of this stuff reflexively. Never mind. We're just going to worry about those consequences later. If we put one of these guys here, give us some ammonia solution. Give us... Yeah, we'll leave space to add more later, because we're definitely doing more later. That wasn't the one I wanted. It was ice and ammonia. And then we can have... I guess we're putting this in a box with a long-handed inserter, because we don't have any other kind yet. And then... Yeah, we're going to have to get, at this point, heat pipe all the way through here, which is gross, but whatever. And then a chem plant, which is going to have to go underground, so we can get ice through here. Boxes don't freeze? Boxes go anywhere and also don't freeze. Important things to keep track of. Okay, we wanted the ice foundation thing, which is not made in... Is the ice foundation just made in a regular assembler? Show me the ice foundation. Assembler. We have some of those, I believe. Should these have gone the other way? Whatever, never mind. And yeah, we're going to pull this out over here again. All of that stuff, you will want to be making me this, and I think this ends up... I believe this ends up ice positive. I think we... Oh, actually, let's also, while we're doing this, just try and... Because we're not... Our grid is not really online yet. Are we ammonia... We actually get more water... We get more ice out than we necessarily expected? Oh, this... No, it's because this pipe froze. That makes sense. Okay, so now I believe we're getting out... I think from this 5 ice, 10 times as much ammonia as ice, whereas this uses less ammonia than that. So we do actually need more ice, which is one of the reasons why we brought all this ice down, is to help us... Okay, so we've got one of the key things that we wanted, which is a landfill machine, which we can give more ice to later. Otherwise, we'd have to put a tank here or something like that. Okay, the landfill machine is the thing we wanted so that we could also get... I wanted landfill over here for something. Was it to get the heat pipes around behind this thing? Was it to... Have you brought me any more ice yet? No, don't know where Becky is. Okay, other ways to get ice include looting it from this box, which is probably all going to end up needing to be the same water system. Oh yeah, that's why. We wanted... these 2 tiles to be filled so that we could then concrete them, so that we could move all of this back 1 tile so that we can sneak heat pipe through to warm our chem plants. And now we have advanced oil cracking running. Yeah, so I think the next thing we're going to do, I think we need, yeah, we just need more, we need more landfill at this point, because we need to, if we're going to go and do this, like the plan was, start making more rocket fuel. I wonder if we have more rocket fuel. Are we close enough to, I don't actually know if we are close enough to being able to fully automate our own rocket fuel. Because we don't have the space, because we don't have the landfill, but I also don't care because we have, yeah, we could have more of these guys as well if we could figure out a pattern that we liked. Yeah, more landfill, yeah, because we've got... Whose hexacube was just here? You know what I should do? I should set up requests for rocket fuel in here. We're requesting the ice that we don't have. We're also going to request rocket fuel, I don't know, 600. We can bring it in from other planets while we're figuring out how to get this online. It's fine. Did we? We did not change you. Okay, you can also start buffering some of the ice cubes we need so we can bring them in. Becky is... It's Vulcanus, Gleba, Aquillo. So we are... Yeah, we've got some ice to bring in. We don't actually need the concrete. We don't actually have... You're bringing that in from Fulgora. Why did we... I don't know why we didn't pick that up. We should have had that in Fulgora. That's a thing we'll come back to later, I guess. What a weird place to pull up Solaris. I think that's going to be a good place to call the episode. We've done some stuff on Aquillo. We kind of need to muck around and get more landfill and build the rest of this out and get ourselves a place to do rocket fuel. I also want to look at, or at least think about, good ways to arrange this power grid, because that's going to be a thing we need to do reliably as well. But yeah, we are on Aquillo, and we are not dead. Oh wait, we don't need the refineries at all. We've got completely different recipes with ammonia for the solid fuel and rocket fuel. Oh well. So these are asking, oh wait, we're still going to need extra pipes because we need water for the rocket fuel, but yeah.